I visited 20 countries for the past 3 years, and 11 of them I visited with my dog. I paid around $300 for my dog inside. My dog was twice on the flights around 12 hours and he never peed. But also Hey, my name is Diana and I love traveling the world. I visited 20 countries for the past 3 years and 11 of them I visited with my dog, Cerber. Let me introduce you my dog. He's a toy poodle. I'm very lucky because he's used to traveling. He's very adaptive for this because he started traveling when he was 2 months. We traveled by cars, trains, planes, and even boats. I have like pretty lot of experience traveling with the dogs this size. This video will be about how to travel with dog. I will answer the questions, the most common question about traveling with a dog. Let's go. So one very important thing about traveling with a dog is that you need to know that it's that traveling with a dog, it's not so complicated how you can think about it. Sometimes could be not easy, but most of the time it's pretty easy and comfortable. Which airlines allow the dog in a cabin? So there is a big list, I would say it's a huge list of airlines that allow the dogs. You can just Google it, write the airlines which allow the dogs, but this the thing that airline has very different policies. Dogs could be different size. I will talk about this a little later. So it's better to Google like exactly airlines that you want to fly to. For example, if you want to fly with the Turkish Airlines and you don't know if they're allowed to dogs or not, the best thing that you can do is just write in Google Turkish Airlines pet in cabin. So the first link is usually the answer, but also when you search like this, you have a page on the website, official website of airlines, where they write in all the policies, all the rules about dog in the cabin. What the size and weight limits for in cabin pets. There is two types of dogs that could be allowed on the plane. Two types separated from 0 to 9 kilos, 8 or 9 kilos, and from 9 kilos and infinity. So the dogs until 9 kilos, it should be not just 9 kilo dog, it should be dog inside the carrier, and this should be not more than 8 or 9 kilo. This type of dogs, it's called small dogs, which is much easier to travel with, and dogs above this number, it's big dogs which sometimes could be not allowed inside the cabin. Most of the time dogs like this are flying in the cargo, so it's like a place where all luggage is, which I don't really like to do, so I'm trying to fly only in the cabin with my dog. If your dog has a service dog ID and certificate, so it's officially service dog, this type of dogs, even if they 10 kilo, even if they 15 kilo or 20, they still could be inside the plane. It's a little different way of how to travel with. You should understand that this type of dogs not flying inside the back, they flying like between your leg, or sometimes you can buy like a additional seat where your dog could be seated. He won't be seated on the seat, but he can sit like in the place for legs, an additional place. What type of carrier should I use for my dog? First of all, it should be soft. If we're talking about flying in the cabin, all the requirements and policies of how it should be, you can find directly in airlines which you would like to fly. Every airline has different dimensions. It's not a big difference, but better to know. I will write you right now here average dimensions for the bag. For example, Turkish Airlines. Place for leg where you can put the bag. This is smaller, so the bag can squeeze a little bit. This is why it should be soft. One very important thing that's usually nobody talking, but on my experience, I never have a situations. The airline cabin crew or people on the check-in will check the size of the carrier. I have just a few times for all my experience where they check the weight of my dog with the bag. You need to think about that. Maybe I will be lucky enough and they won't check the bag. Always better to be prepared. Other breed restrictions for in cabin travel? Yes, every airlines has own list. Again, there is like most common list that you also can find. Some of airlines had a list on the website, so you can check this. But also there is a lot of exceptions, a lot of ways to fly with these dogs also. The best way is for me, it's called directly to the support line of the airlines. so I can ask everything I need. They will give me the most correct information. What health documentation is required for my dog? Documents is very different because it's depends from the destination where you're flying, and it's important from which country you're flying. For example, in Europe, you don't need healthy certificate. You need only the pet passport. Or USA, you don't need pet passport because it's not exist in USA, but you need health certificate, and it's better sometimes to have also additional rabies vaccination certificate and a lot of different certificates. And it's very depends if it's domestic flights, because if it's domestic flights, I never had time where they checked any documents of my dog. But when I arrived to USA, I arrived from Mexico, they asked me a lot of different certification. Also to Asia, it's the most strict rules to come inside with your dog, and it's very depends from countries. What is a health certificate for people who doesn't know? This is like a final paper which should be like a government vet, like special vet. It's not just a normal vet clinic just near to your house. It should be government clinic or agriculture department in airport or something like this. So inside the health certificate, basically they write in something like, this dog is healthy, he has a rabies vaccination on time, a good amount, he's titers test showing that this amount of antigen is good, and blah blah blah. So this dog is completely healthy to go right now outside of this country to inside different countries. Are there additional fees for bringing my dog in the cabin? Yes. Very quick things about service dog, it's always free, but this video is not about service dogs. Maybe one day if you will want to hear more, I will tell you about it. The fees are very different. It also depends from if it's domestic flight inside the countries or it's international, or if it's international but very long distance. Because for example, if you go in somewhere like from Turkey to Portugal or from Turkey to Georgia, it could be much cheaper, could be like price like domestic. But if you fly in, for example, from Turkey to Mexico or USA, the price will be much higher. So for example, my trip from Georgia, then Turkey, then Mexico, this was 2 flights with Turkish Airlines. I paid around $300 for my dog inside. It's not the seat, you pay only for place your dog inside the cabin. It's not a seat. If you want to know how much it costs in specific airlines, you always can ask support lines in these airlines, or you just can Google it. What should I do if my dog needs to relieve itself during the flight? What I'm doing, I'm using a pee pads. Also, you can use diapers. There is a lot of different life hacks how to solve this problem. For example, a lot of dogs can hold pee and everything a long time. For example, if you going to walk with your dog at 9 p.m, then you're going to walk in the morning at 9 a.m, you can understand that it's a long time when your dog is not peeing, not going to toilet, usually. So your dog can hold it. My dog was twice on the flights around 12 hours and he never peed. But also he was on the flight 9 hours and he peed one time. So I never can predict if he will or not. I never gave him water before like 2-3 hours when we should to start flight. If the flight very long, more than 6 hours, I will give him a little water during the flight, because you should understand the air is very dry and you're inside the cabin of airplane, and you need to understand the dogs want to drink water in general, but also he can be alive and healthy if he won't drink water, just like something what I would like to do. What I'm doing is putting the pee pads inside his bag. And then if I think that he wanna pee, sometimes I can understand because he's not sleeping on the plane. Holding him in my arms and I'm going to the toilet, I'm closing the door, putting the pee pads on the floor, and then I'm waiting when he will pee. Usually I'm waiting like 2-3 minutes maximum, because the people want to go to toilet also, and I can't wait 1 hour or something. But my dog is used to go pee on the pee pads in general from his youngest time. It was very important for me that my dog will used to go on the pee pads during his life, so in case of a lot of traveling he can do this easily. This was like my goal in the beginning. You have a dog or you want to plan to have a dog and you know that you will travel, or you would like to take your dog to different trips, vacations or something, the very cool things make your dog used to pee pads. You still can walk, but it's good to have this combination between he can pee inside the home in the pee pads and he can pee outside, because there is no grass, not pet relief area in the plane where your dog can pee. Airlines officially not allowed it to you take your dog out of bag during the flight. So he can't sit with you on a seat, he can't walk, he can't go with you to pee. But usually, in my experience, the cabin crew is very friendly. If you're in the business class, it's always much easier because in business class cabin crew are more loyal to you. And when it's nighttime, plane is dark, so they allowed you take your dog in the bed. So I'm pretty often sleeping in the business class with my dog. Just one time in Discovery Airlines, they didn't allow me to take my dog without bag to the toilet. There's always a chance. If you're loyal to the cabin crew, if you're friendly, you always have a chance that they will be loyal to you and your dog. If you want to make your experience traveling with your dog and preparation for the travel, I have a free checklist for traveling with a dog. You can find the link in the description, and there I also have like a specific bonus for you, something very special. Just grab your copy in the description. And if you're ready to go deeper and know more about traveling with a dog in the cabin, I also have in Cabin Dog Travel a complete guide where is all information about how to travel with dog under 9 kilo. There's all best pet-friendly airlines in USA, Europe and Asia. Also, there is a lot of life hacks and tricks for traveling with your dog to make your dog used to traveling, what you need to take with you, what the best ways to take the documents, which documents you need and what is this, everything inside there, and much more information, trust me. Even the information about what inside the airport, how you need to go through check-in, through the airport, through the custom in the different countries. So there's like a lot of cool information, and also there is a bonus from me list with links of my recommendations for carrier, for different supplies for your dog, and much more. So if you wanna, you can also go through the link in the description and check what's inside and learn more about my guide and take your copy. I'm really happy to help you. I hope I help you a lot, because I have a lot of information and experience about traveling with a dog, a lot of free useful information you can find in my Instagram. I just hope you will travel with your dog as more as possible. Thank you so much for watching and have a good time. Bye!